All right, guys, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Generation Old School. In this video, we're filming a 1955 Chevy. In this video, we're filming a 1955 Buick. We're meeting with George, the owner, so I'm gonna let him tell us about the car. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, let us know with a big like.
It's a 1955 Buick Riviera Special Hardtop Convertible.
Long name.
Long name. And the reason why they called it back then is that you see the car is a no post. Chevys had them. Obviously, those who know the old cars, they had no post. But this particular car, because it's so long, it's just a little over 17 feet. The black top makes it appear to look like a hardtop convertible, like some of the old Fords and Chevys had back in the day. So it gives that illusion. So the big open spaces and all that. Other than that, it's the base model, the three-hole, what they call the three-hole. The four-hole were the Century and the higher level models. That's how you determine. The three holes had the 264 nailhead V8, which it still has. And so this was essentially the base model. This car came off the assembly line. I traced it back to Arlington, Texas. So this is not from Detroit. So it has very little, if no rust, because it spent 45 of its years in that desert in Texas. Still has much of the original undercoating. It just, they kept it. The car was all white, but somebody had painted it these tricolors. When I got it, my boy Adi over at Deuce's Wild Hot Rods helped me out. And we put it to this correct three-color code. This color option was available in 1955 for this model. So it is correct to the year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's correct. It was all white, but we put it correct to the year. Other than that, I've driven it everywhere. I've done very little to it, the way I got it. The stainless steel trim on the car, this is called, for those who know, that's called the Sweep Spear. That's the name Buick gave it to it. That's all stainless steel. I handed that off to this lady in up North Sebastian, the trim lady.
The trim lady.
Yeah, a lot of people may know her. She pounded, polished all that out. All that, I mean, came out mirror finish, amazing. Both sides, I think it's like 12 feet, wow. 14 feet of stainless steel trim.
George, and is this car still has the original transmission and engine?
Yeah, so this has it's a two-speed Dyna Flow for the Chevy guys. That was the Power Glide, since it's under General Motors, same thing. So two-speed transmission. I can do 90 in this thing all day. I don't do it, wow. But the way it's geared, it's made to cruise on the highways. So it's been great. I try to keep it right to its. You know, it works, it has a good time. I can hop in it, go with the family, go to a car show, drive to Daytona, drive to Key West. You know, the only time it's been on the trailer is when it caught on fire once.
It did.
The rear seal came apart and the axle fluid came out and caught fire on the way to the Turkey Rod Run.
No way.
So thank God I had friends with water and we saved it. Good. So outside of that and some other electrical, it's been AAA's my friend. I think they have my name on a plaque somewhere.
So George, what do we got over here?
So, I mean, there's not much. There's really no frills interior. I really haven't tackled it much. It's actually next on the project list. I mean, everything in the dash is stock. I mean, it's original in terms of that. I mean, outside of going to the Yeehaw Junction and get me some blankets I found that were the same color of the car, I just threw it on there.
They look good.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, it's good. I'm going to get it all redone. Now, again, that's the next project. Aside from that, the 4Js, that's my family. That's Hardhead, Jeannie, Jared, and Jeremy. That's my family, and we were married in 1996, so my friends call us the 4Js.
Nice.
So we put that there in honor of my family. We have a great time, and pretty much that's it. There's some things that I got to fix and paint, but, you know, that's pretty much about it. Yeah.
Overall, it's a nice, fun car to drive, man.
It is. Especially all the air. There's so much glass. There's zero blind spot in these things.
And how many people can you fit in here?
Well, I've actually done 8. at one point, but it's a lot of people. I mean, I got drop springs on this, 4-inch Jamco drop springs all around. That's really the only suspension mod I've done to this thing. Just the stability and the radial tires just make it so much better to drive on the highway.
George, and many people that follow me don't know that nowadays many companies exist that do wheels or tires to resemble the similarity of the tires that were used back in the 1950s, like the white wall tires that you have here.
Yeah.
And we see that you went with this, and they actually look really nice.
Yeah. Those are Coker Classics.
Okay.
Amazing tire. I reached out to friends of mine and people who have great looking cars and all that, and got recommendations. I actually had the Coker bias ply before. It was a wider white wall tire. It looked amazing, but I come to find out these bias plies tires on the highways, for those who know, it catches a rut. They're not stable, those type of tires. So I went to these lower profile, and their radials. It's unbelievable difference.
So George, what type of engine do we got over here?
So it's a 264 nailhead stock motor. I actually don't know the mileage on the car. I mean, I got it. It's run great. I've done a few things to it. I actually put a 4-barrel intake and 4-barrel carburetor on it. There's no aftermarket parts for these engines, so I looked up some old timers. You take that intake and carburetor off the larger 322 nailhead, and I put it on this, so it breathes a little better, gets out of its own way. I put in a power booster, brakes. That's a company on eBay called Battleborn Brakes, that they specifically made the back plate, everything. It bolts right in for the Buick. Unbelievable. I can stop it with my big toe.
Really?
And these still have the 14-inch drums on it.
All around?
All around drums. And the way this thing stops like a new car.
Wow.
I mean, amazing. It actually fits right in there. I have to paint it, but... And then I went to... I'm not so much in terms of everything has to look so original. I'd rather have function over form, because the amount of miles I like to put on this car. And I got this massive 4-core radiator that another friend of mine put in his Buick. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I had a lot of cooling problems. The pump, everything else is good, but the radiator I'd fixed a few times, so I went with this, and it almost keeps the motor too cool, but it's great. It runs fantastic.
That's really
good. Yeah. Other than that, that's it. I mean, other than that, the wiring, in terms of that, what's been done, I really don't mess with it. Tune-ups. I put electric ignition in it, just to make it, drivable and for distances and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much about
George,
it.
and one thing that is very unique from this era on these cars is all the chrome that you got. You don't see this nowadays on cars, not even trucks.
No.
And that's something that I really love about this type of cars, and that's why I'm working hard not to let this car die and for people to forget about them.
Yeah.
We gotta keep the old school cars alive, the culture, and that's something that, this car is beautiful.
No, thank you. And it's interesting you say that this front bumper is 13 pieces.
Really?
When I took it apart, my sons helped me. I mean, there's chrome rings. There's chrome rings on the inside here. There's these chrome rings in here, right, that they have. I mean, that's a piece. These comes off. The way these bumpers, all this, the back, this, the top. It's amazing how many pieces. And, it's funny, we were talking about, where you don't see this made anymore, and kind of maybe, what people don't understand. And one of the things I think, we get this, an American-made car and what this represented back in that era. I know for a fact, without even looking up anything, probably World War II veterans who worked in these factories touched this car. And we're on the assembly line. That's right. I think people don't understand that.
I get goosebumps.
Yeah. So you can imagine the hands that were on this car on the assembly line.
And the history of it.
And 1955, World War II ended in 45. These guys were all 28, 30 years old, getting jobs in Detroit or Michigan or in these factories to get the America rolling again. And you can imagine veterans had their fingers all over this thing.
I don't remember if you mentioned this at the beginning of the video or not, but have you done your research to see who previously owned this car, like originally?
No, it's tough. Well, I bought it from my neighbor who got it from a guy in Miami, and I traced it and he had gotten it from some car service in Texas. And I traced it back to Texas, and they have, they're like a closed state. I forgot the whole story. And I tried to get some information, and I couldn't. The only thing I think this car was, because it was all white, because the color code right there on the original VIN plate, which is not the VIN plate, the identity plate right there, I think this was a county car because this car had no options on it. So I think this was all white. I think it was a county car. Somebody took it and somebody refurbished this car either in the 80s or something, because you find traces of that. They took the fenders off and you see paint and certain things. Like somebody did some work to it. Actually, the dash, when the sun hits it, it's like almost a black candy cherry. Like you see it, like somebody put some money in that paint on that dash. I mean, at some point in its life. But yeah, other than that, it's I pretty much leave it as is and just try to keep it going, have a blast with it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanna share with us about the car?
No, other than that, it's I'll tell you, it's these, you just don't see these anymore, and you see how things were done. I mean, there's not a stitch of plastic on this thing. The steering wheel, the original steering wheels are a polymer. But it's fun. I love these. For those who know, these cars have soul. I love all the new stuff, believe me. But
George, and one thing that I really admire and like about your car is that you have kept it all original mostly.
Yeah. I didn't want to mess with it much. I think a lot of guys, I've been to older motorcycles, but an old motorcycle, a vintage motorcycle, fits right in the corner of your garage, and you can leave it in pieces. It doesn't bother. But a bomber like this, a sled in the driveway, when you're I just don't have the room. So I wanted to get something that I can get in, I can enjoy it, and then work on it as I go. The paint was missing a lot of things. It was peeling. The chrome was all peeling. So, little by little, I want to just put it back to where it was. By no means am I, it has to be a museum piece. It's just something I wanted to look good. I can go to shows and I can enjoy and really drive it and enjoy it. Yeah.
It really sucks having something in your driveway, working on it for 1 year and not being able to enjoy it and spending money.
Exactly.
And that's something that I don't want it to happen to me.
Yeah.
That's the same reason why I don't have one yet, because I want to get something that's 80% done, 90%, and the only thing that I got to do is give it a little touches here and there.
Exactly.
George, but thank you so much, man, for giving us the opportunity to film your car. It is an amazing car.
Thank you.
Hope it lasts forever, and I hope it continues to bring happiness to you and your family, man.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm going to be linking George's Instagram down below in the description box of this video, so if you guys want to follow him, do so. It's at Beathead.
1968. Beathead 1968.
1968.
Exactly.
So hope you guys liked this video. If you did, let us know with a big like, and also subscribe if it is your first time passing by the channel. Thank you, guys.
Great. Thanks. I just wanted to add one unique feature that was actually stock with these cars that I found and made it work again, was the keyless start. So basically it's off, it's on, off, off, then on, there we go. So you put it on and there's no key. I mean, there's a key here, but that's just to hold it in place. I can take it out, but you see this? Hands-free with the gas pedal. That's how you start the car. And that's original to the car. Has a connection to the carburetor, to the coil and everything there, but that's original. So something cool.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.